Hey guys, it's Mr. Jack000 here, back with Automation, the car company Tycoon game, and what you're seeing right now is one of my latest builds called the Ford Supervan 4. This is a fictional racing vehicle by Ford if the Transit Connect work van was a racing vehicle, just like the regular Transit Supervans. It's a successor to the Ford Supervan 3, which was made in 1994 that had a Cosworth DFL V8 engine and a top speed of 174 miles per hour. With this vehicle, it's a whole lot different in terms of styling and performance, but it retains the heritage of what the Supervans look like and how it drives. Stay tuned for the specs of this vehicle and how I made it throughout this portion of the video. The body that I've used to make this next-gen Supervan is made by a modder named Partorio in his 90s compact van body mod file. The link to download this is down in the description and it's available in the Automation Steam Workshop. It has a lap time of 1 minute 14 seconds 80 milliseconds at the quote-unquote Top Gear test track and 2 minutes 4 seconds 12 milliseconds at the automation track. It has a top speed of 190 miles per hour and a 0 to 60 in 4.7 seconds flat. This vehicle uses a near replica version of the Toyota 1LR GUE V10 engine that produces 552.2 horsepower and 410.8 pounds-feet of torque. It has a fuel efficiency rating of 17.7 miles per gallon and weighs 2,614.9 pounds or 1,186.1 kilograms. And for the market, it isn't the best of these top 4 markets here, but it does okay in both the track car markets, but even worse in the muscle premium and light sports premium car markets. In terms of how I made the Transit Supervan 4, the panel material will be made out of fiberglass with a space frame chassis made out of light AHS steel. With a front longitudinal engine placement, and the front and rear suspensions both use a double wishbone suspension setup. For the engine, it's a V90 V10 engine made out of aluminum with the bore set to 88mm and the stroke at 79mm, which gets this engine size at 4,805 cubic centimeters, around 4.8 liters, with dual overhead cam 4 valves also made out of aluminum. For the crankshaft, it's made out of forged steel with lightweight titanium con rods and lightweight forged pistons. For the compression, it is set to its realistic compression rating of 12.0 to 1, which is a pretty high amount, with the cam profile set to a 76 and VVT at all cams, with the quality set to a plus 15 right here. And so you have turbochargers whatsoever. So for the fuel system, we're using a multi-point EFI throttle per cylinder performance intake running on premium fuel, with the fuel mixture set to a 13.0. The ignition timing bumped up a little bit to around 60, and the RPM was set to a whopping 9,000 RPM. For the exhaust, we're using log tubular headers with a single exhaust, with its exhaust diameter set to 108mm, with high flow 3-way catalytic converter and both straight through buffers front and back, with a pretty high quality rating right here. For the drive type, we're using a rear-wheel drive setup with a sequential 6-speed with the top speed set to 191.7 miles per hour. The spacing dropped a little bit, and we're using a geared LSD. For the tires, we're using radial semi-slick tires with the front tire width set to 250mm and the rear at 270mm, running on 17-inch alloy rims. For the brakes, we're using vented disc 3-piston brakes for the front with its size set to 295mm, and for the rear, it's also a vented disc but it's a 1-piston with its size set to 250mm, with the pad type leaning towards a racing setting at around 70. For the undertray of this vehicle, not that much. We're using a downforce undertray with the downforce setting at a 35, and the brake airflow bump it up a little bit, including the quality. And for the interior, as you can see here, we got 2 seats right here with a sport interior and no entertainment whatsoever, because, you know, you gotta be focused on the driving, not the tunes of the vehicle. And that's pretty much it. So for the power steering, we're using a variable hydraulic power steering with traction control and ABS brakes. Even though once you get into BeamNG.drive, it'll have electronic stability control, which I don't know why it's got that on there. And lastly, it's got 1990s standard safety standards. And lastly, for the suspension, we're using active sport springs with a semi-active dampers, and the only option is passive sway bars running on a racing preset. Despite having a fair amount of problems on here, such as dampers being too hard, brake force being very high, engine bay, wheel spin, clearance, tires, camber, and all that good stuff, we're going to export this to BeamNG.drive and test this vehicle out. So here we are at the automation test track, the highway portion of this map, and taking a brief look at this vehicle. Well, first of all, what the hell happened to these colors? It turned from blue to a chrome-ass piece in the bottom portion of the vehicle. Same thing with the Supervan coloring. It was all blue, and this turned red right here for the number 4. But everything else seems okay. I mean, it's kind of like one of the downsides about working with modded bodies and working with modded parts on here is that it has a tendency to lose its coloring on here. But if I go to the color option menu, hit Control W and go to color, I could change the color of this vehicle as so, like this. Like, you can change the color of this, but nothing else somehow, which is kind of weird how this played out. It's pretty much been the case like this for quite some time. So real quick, let me respawn a new one and head out for a basic performance test of this vehicle. So here I am back quite a bit from where I spawned in at, and right now we're going to be doing some basic performance tests like I just said a few seconds ago. So for our basic performance test, the first thing we're doing is a 0 to 62 acceleration test, second a 62 to 0 brake test, and lastly a top speed run, which I guarantee that with this powerful of a V10 engine straight from a Lexus LFA, it'll probably reach its top speed pretty easily. But I don't know what the length of this road is, but we'll find out real soon. So right now, start with the 0 to 62 acceleration test now. Alright, test underway. Some of that wheel spin. More wheel spin. 0 to 62. Close enough into 63 in 3.49 seconds of 167.38 feet. For the brake test, we turn on cruise control and go. This is 62. Go to realistic in case anything messes up. And here we go. Some of that lag there. So 62 to 0 in 2.97 seconds of 102.07 feet. Seems okay distance-wise for the time. I don't know. I don't know if that lag spike really killed anything right there, but it's safe to say that this thing doesn't stop at a dime, but it stops pretty well. That's all I can say. Alright, for a top speed run, let's back up quite a ways over here and hit the gas right now. So, what the hell, ECS? Let's turn this off before things get even worse. Go to sport mode. So over 100 miles an hour, 120, 130 into 5th gear right now. We're just flying through these gears and ECS is still messing up on me. Come on, man. All right, 160. I don't know about the length of this road here, so we're going 170 miles an hour according to the airspeed. Got this bend right here, and it seems like we're about out of room. So top speed-wise, everything as is. Slow it down, 184. So 860 times slow right here. Damn, there goes the camera. So, impact detected, stopping car, main engine broken, so full time. So, we killed the engine of this vehicle, unfortunately. And here we are at a rest right now. That tire is going to go in the water. How's the tire doing? So, free cam, how you doing, Mr. Tire? Are you drowning in the ocean? I just saw some smoke. Is that you? Okay, he's doing good. He's got a ripped up, like, piece of the tire there, so he's going to change direction on me, bastard. So damage-wise, take a brief look at this. So left side has been completely smashed out. Got some loose polygons over the place for the front end. Got this crinkled up pretty good. Right side, more loose polygons. Is this for the text right here? Hold on. No, that is the drive shaft, like, poking through the right side of the vehicle. Okay, that's weird. The rear end, not so much. It's also about the rear end, like the real Transit Supervan, the Supervan 3. I think the engine would be back here, but instead of it being a rear engine or a mid-rear engine vehicle, it's just basically nothing. And the engine, of course, is placed on the front, as you can see right here, completely smashed out. So right now, let's do a couple of time trials out here. Let's stay at this map here at the automation test track. And I'm thinking next, which I think I did before, is to go back to the Spa-Francorchamps, aka the Belgian Grand Prix of Formula 1, and do a race with this next. So go to, not there, not here, not in my house, Terminex, to the race circuit of automation, 2 laps, early noon hours with this vehicle. So take it to the starting line of this racetrack right now. So here we are at the start and finish line of this track here, and I think we are a little ways, seriously, why does my right analog stick trigger the throttle, like, right here? Why does it do that? Is there, like, a conflict with my controls or what? Because I'm using a PS4 controller to play this game because I don't even have room to put a steering wheel on this desk. So, ignoring all that, so let's get ready to start this here Tetra off in 3, 2, 1. Try to get a launch going. Launch was basically useless around 3,000 RPM. So, go into the first turn. Brake. And holy nearly oversteer. And got that wheel spin going, got that oversteer in check. So this van has a good tendency to oversteer despite having ECS and everything in general. So getting ready to this hard braking zone right here. and nearly overshot that thanks to my driving skills. And it's been a while since I've played on the automation test track. It's been like quite a while, like a little over a month and a half ago since I raced on this track or something. Been around that time period. And not only that, thanks to this new update here, well, the recent updates, I don't know if you remember, if you recall back in the day, like several months ago, like racing on this track or modded tracks, like you see with the top right of the screen with the lap time counter, like the camera goes in and out like really quickly, and the lap timer doesn't count until I finish up the race, which was pretty weird how that happened back in the day. And hopefully I know how to drive right here with this constantly applying braking zone and turning of the wheels, so bad apex, and we're still getting that wheel spin despite having semi-slicks and this powerful V10 engine. How about this braking zone? Around 100 meters, I think that was, or yards with the braking. I'm gonna go very close to the tire barriers. So this fan definitely likes to oversteer. This thing is like twitchy as hell, probably because of the setup of the tires and everything, to the point where it's oversteering, and with the power of this vehicle being over 550 horsepower of a Lexus LFA sourced engine and ECS. What the hell were you doing? ECS was refusing me to just drive. So first lap time, 2 minutes, 18 seconds, 49 milliseconds. Okay, but it would have been better if ECS would have done its damn job. I think I'm gonna just turn us off right now. All right, no balls, ECS, traction control off. We're gonna go raw with this driving, which includes wheel spin, twitchiness, all that good stuff. But this doesn't even apply to ABS because ABS is completely separate with the with these types of driving aids. So braking wise, again, 700-degree front brakes, 300s in the back, and we're in the sand, thanks to me. And for our split time, we're even worse right here, around a 1.23 second split difference between the first and second laps here. I swear, I'm trying to rip this right here. 170, down, dive. I think that braking and some of that drag and everything pretty much worked out. So, this braking zone, can I please get this right? Okay, got some of that lag going, and more. Not too bad. More oversteering. Gotta watch my steering and throttle it, but it's gotta be very careful about this one here. Braking wise here, I pretty much have to like slam on the brakes and then slam on the brakes again rather than just gradually putting the brakes in. It'll be even more interesting if I had no ABS in these brakes here and I have to like learn how to like judge my stopping distance and everything so I don't lock up the brakes, thus me spinning out and losing control of the vehicle. Like right there, you see it's at 100%. Nice drift on the more drifts on the brakes there. If I kept it 100% without ABS, then I would lock up the brakes and potentially spinning out like right there. I would lock up the brakes, potentially decreasing my stopping distance and potentially wiping out. So coming up to our last corner here, this is where ECS pretty much went mentally unstable here. So our lap time we're gonna get with this one is a 2 minutes, 13 seconds, 507 milliseconds. Come on, slow-mo. Okay, good enough. With a total time of 4 minutes, 31 seconds, 556 milliseconds, the 556 round. And this puts me first place out of all the vehicles tested in the automation test track. Second would be the frickin' GMC, Jacket Motor Company Santa Sleigh, the CV25 work van turned Santa Sleigh, the Automation Public Racing School Bus, and this one is a meme build, which I built during my private time. So right now, slow this boy down. Hopefully it does slow down and free roam. Maybe I'm wrong. So, impact detected, stopping car, main engine broken, and this thing's a fraud for thinking I'm in a pause mode, but I'm not. Damn game. Sometimes we do that when you get out of the time trial, it does that. It thinks you're in pause, but the game keeps going, the simulation. So as you can see here, front end damage, got the tire loose right here. You yank this out of the road, or out of my way. So boost polygons here as always. Everything else about the vehicle. Got the drivetrain sticking out right here on both sides. Wow. That's pretty interesting. So as promised, go to the Spa-Francorchamps. I'm saying a freaking deep-ass accent, so go to Spa and drive a couple laps and then take this out somewheres to end its misery. So take it to the starting line of this here race right now. Well, I don't know if you see it on my screen here. It's still not responding. I've been literally waiting here for like 15 minutes and nothing has been changed. So let me find an alternative track for you right now. Damn it, man. Alright, so I found a replacement track here at West Coast, USA. So this is a modded time trial run here, which is a street circuit on here. A short one to be exact. And we're doing one whole lap around this here street circuit. And then after this, last part of the video, like I mentioned, take this down a brutal slope, which hopefully it does load, and then we're gonna enter misery off right then and there with this vehicle. So right now, start off with the time trial run here in 3, 2, 1. Where's my mouse? Turn off ECS, and wheel spin. Nice. Let's hopefully not do that throughout the entirety of the time trial, as I learned at the automation test track with the buttload of wheel spin. And tally-ho, that was close. And another close one there thanks to some wheel spin and some junk there. And whew, that was close. I heard it scrape right there, touch the wall. Did I got rid of the mirror. I saw something fly out. I think that was, yeah, that was the mirror that flew out of my car, because that's missing right there. And I still got my sanity. Nice brakes. This is gonna be a pretty damn good time trial. Oh no. Already to a great start. Lost the whole goddamn wing, so we're gonna lose a lot of aerodynamics with this vehicle. This is unfortunate. This is pretty dicey for a course like this. Pretty much keep this on a regular racetrack and avoid narrow. We're dead. That was... Jesus, how many close calls am I going to get? I was about to say, keep this to a regular wide-ass racetrack, not for stuff like this. This type of street course, or the frickin' Azerbaijan Grand Prix, wherever. This is just ridiculous. Damn it. I've already ruined this vehicle already. Got the wing missing. Both mirrors are gone now. It dinged up the front end pretty good, and I can't accelerate for some odd reason. Like, see, my throttle is just going in and out, like, awkwardly, and I'm, like, all the way down on my PS4 controller here, and holy crap, we're gonna get a pretty bad lap time. Pretty bad lap time. Pretty bad lap time. Come on, straighten this out, and here we go. Finish line straight up ahead. Let's just cruise easily. So, lap time we're gonna get is, we're auto steering to the left, 1 minute, 54 seconds, 378 milliseconds, with a total time of, please ignore that, because that doesn't even count here, folks. So let's formally end its misery on this track here. Find somewhere to crash off to. Let's just do a few more turns and then smash its head on. So, look at that. Auto steering hard to the left thanks to the damage of this vehicle. Let's look at the damage-wise. Like, how much am I, like, not a whole lot of, like, camber issues, but right here we got a buttload of camber problems right there, but whatever. And here we go. Let's just stop right here and slow this down. Get actually a camera going here. This crash. I haven't done this in this video, this particular vehicle. About 100 miles an hour. High DUI, 60 times slow-mo. Go. Right here. Boom, there goes the transmission, and pretty much similar damage as, like, before. And like that, we have killed the engine of this vehicle because how large this engine is and how small the engine bay is. So engine locked up, thank you very much. You don't have to tell me about that twice. Same thing with the radiator leaking. So damage-wise, pretty much as expected. The drivetrain right here messed up. The front end pretty smashed pretty well. Got that overlapping crash, and that is it. Yeah, that's it. So lastly, like I said, Brutal Slope 2.0 time. And see if this van can take the new heights of making the Supervan 4 a real thing and not an automation to BeamNG thing. So here we are at the top of the ramp here, at the top of this hill and everything. So let's skateboard ourselves down at a very high speed. Just hold on to the gas pedal. And first gear, the shenanigans, add a worst 0 to 60 time of 4.32 seconds of 170.09 feet. And upshift. I had to do it myself. God damn it, game. So right now we've reached top speed, going beyond 200 miles an hour, 201. And that's it, 202 miles an hour, 203. And anything else, 203 is the top speed, and exit speed upon the ramp, 176. And, oh my god, we are flying. Whoa, we are, like, legit flying up in here. Flying like, let's see, brakes. That even work here. Sometimes you slam on the brakes, you, like, put the car, like, face down and just, like, freaking nosedive. Worst it is, this is right here. So let's get a camera going at 60 times slow-mo, crashing down, almost face down at the concrete here of the grid spacer here, this map. So resume physics now. Boom, there goes the front end. And that, boom, there goes the transmission. Track it a little bit. There goes the tire. Can I grab this? Yeet this thing backwards, and I swear, I can hit the vehicle. No, it's not. So, regular cam, and full time. And rolling it over. Still rolling over pretty good. What are the G's on this? Around 2 G's, and we're at a rest. And as usual, as the gears count down to neutral, no, the first gear, surprisingly, the engine has been destroyed with this vehicle with this type of collision. Front end's messed up. We got, is this a seat here? Hold on, is this a seat? No, that is the steering wheel and the dashboard poking through the windshield here. Wowzers. So everything else, this vehicle, heavily damaged. The front, taking the worst of it. Alright, so here I am with the other side of the map here. Let's skateboard ourselves down at the top of the hill here and get ourselves down at the little wedge thing, which is basically a square block where you wedge your vehicle at a very high speed to get an interesting wedge-shaped look of your vehicle. And what's interesting, since this is a van, I don't know what the outcome of the vehicle would be like once I smash into the wedge block just right up ahead of me, going over 200 miles an hour, 201, and 202 right now, and get ready to slow things down now. 60 times slow-mo, and same thing, get a camera, like always, Alt U to hide the UI, and here we go. There we go. So, somewhat got that wedge effect a little, but not as I expected so full time. What the hell was that noise? Satan rising out of hell or something? The gates of hell coming up or what? So let me go down here and look at the aftermath destruction of this vehicle. So take a look at the aftermath destruction of vehicles. So we have killed the engine like every time in this freaking episode, unfortunately. You got the drivetrain poking out big time right here. And we do get somewhat of a wedge shape. Not like a pure wedge shape, but it's ramped up at a 70-degree angle, it seems like, roughly around there. Or if we make an obtuse angle, probably around 135 or 140. So everything else in general, sides, rear, as expected, heavily damaged due to the impact of the vehicle. How about the interior? It's compacted down to the point where you're basically in the cargo bay that doesn't exist thanks to racing regulations and all that good stuff. So yep, that's the vehicle right there, ladies and gentlemen. So that'll do it with automation and BeamNG.drive with the Ford Supervan 4. I gotta say, this is a dangerous racing vehicle to drive. With a Toyota V10 engine sourced from the Lexus LFA, you're going to be sliding all over the place thanks to the wheel spin. I also give credit to the brakes of this vehicle of how effective it is, especially for my mishaps on the West Coast USA time trial where I had a few close calls on the track. Overall, it's powerful, yet dangerous to drive. And for those who are interested in this type of content, please be sure to like and subscribe so you won't miss out on any videos like this in the future. And also check out my social media down in the description below. So this has been Mr. Dragon 000. I'll see ya in the next video.